Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome back to our today's episode on AI Agent for Business Analyst podcast. As we discussed in our last episode, we would be covering most frequently asked questions from business analysts who want to be stay relevant, future ready, and impactful in their career and their organizations. So my today's question is, what are the top 5 insights how business analyst role are evolving in this AI agent era?
Namaste, Ansuman, and thank you very much for having me on this podcast. It's a very
Thank
interesting
you.
question, and I would like to say that it's not only the business analyst, but almost all the roles are getting impacted in the era of agentic AI. So since it's a very business analyst focused podcast, let's understand that how the role is evolving. In my view, there are 5 insights I would say. Number one is from the requirement collector to the strategic partner. Yeah, so traditionally, the business analysts are the requirement collector, and basically they write the document. Yeah, but
Mhm.
in the agentic era, they need to understand the whole value chain and how agentic AI will completely transform the value chain. What's the new way of working? And through their domain knowledge, with the new technology, they need to envision the complete new way of working and take the business on this journey. So what they're supposed to build is, of course, the technology knowledge. They already have the domain knowledge, and then later on they need to build the consulting and the communication school in order to thrive into this agentic AI space. Yeah, this is number one.
Okay.
Number two is the prompt engineering. So look, traditionally, again, I said the whole business logic is and domain knowledge is embedded into the document, right? But going forward, it's not only they will be embedding into the static functional aspect, but they will be writing and embedding the business logic into prompt engineering, into system instruction, into memory, into the RAG, and etc. Right? So it's a complete paradigm shift from the static document to the code-based whole, the requirement writing and etc. So they need to, and this will shift away. Some of the hands-off, not some of the, but lot of hands-off, this will shift away from the static document to the prompt engineering. So they need to learn how to write a very clear prompt engineering, how to write the business document into basically the prompt engineering, right? This will shift. They need to be more technical plus the functional as well, right?
Right.
Number three is the context engineering. So if you look at here, the AI agents are completely context driven. Yeah, it requires a dynamic and the fresh context and the data that in forms of RAG, in forms of streaming data, in forms of the embedding and the etc. So being the business analyst, they need to own the complete the data context. They need to
Okay.
understand what's the data cycle, life cycle, from where data is coming, right?
All right.
uh, what's the input, what's the output, what's the quality measures, right? And they need to own the acceptance criteria as well as the failure, and suggest the business, or in fact adjust the quality measures to ensure that it's under the belt. Yeah.
Okay.
Number four is the governance. At one side, agentic AI brings a lot of enormous opportunity, opening the floodgate of opportunity, but at the same time, it brings a lot of risk in terms of safety, security, compliance. Yeah. So, so what happens? I mean, the business analysts, they need to actually learn, and then actually they need to control. Yeah, the safety measures, they need to assess the safety measures, control security, safety, and in fact they need to govern, they need to actually own the governance, though they are not the owner of the governance, but they need to understand the safety, security, vulnerability, compliance, etc., how it will impact the business, and they need to actually bring those aspects into overall the artifacts or on the table. Yeah.
Right.
Last and but not the least is the KPI owner. As I said, they need to become the strategy partner. So being the strategy partner, they also need to know the different evolving the KPI. So now the paradigms, there is a paradigm shift into this era from the static KPI to the dynamic KPI, the autonomous agent KPI. What's the performance? What the security measures performance? What the drift, I mean accuracy, drift, and etc. Right? So there is a complete paradigm shift in terms of the continuous governance, continuous monitoring, observability. So being the business analyst, traditionally, since the paradigm is shifting, they also need to learn the different KPIs. They need to own it, monitor it, and bring the perspective on the table to the business. So in my view, just to summarize, yeah, number one is the strategic partner, number two is the prompt
Prompt engineering.
engineering, number three is context engineering, number four is the governance, and number fifth is the KPI owner. I think these are the five from my perspective they need to move towards in order to make themselves, survive and thrive into the agentic era.
Yeah, that's great insight. Thank you very much for your insights. And we are getting very good response from our this podcast. People are asking a lot of good questions, FAQs. So we have a list of questions in our upcoming session. We would be covering all these questions there. Come asking us. Thank you once again for joining, and we'll meet you again for our next episode with next questions. Thank you.
Yeah,